Hey, 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 Tony. How's everybody doing today? Yeah, I'm a few minutes late. Sorry about that. But thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for coming in and hanging out with me and Milton Leroy again. I'm twisting because Milton Leroy is right behind me. And he does not care. He does not care if I how uncomfortable I am as long as we're touching. Hey, Will. Hey, welcome in. Welcome in. Hey, new TikTok queen. Hey, Danielle. Welcome in. Welcome in. Um, Today, please stop. What's that, Tony? I'm feeling okay. I'm little bit uncomfortable today, and but not too terribly much. Um, Not anything more than usual. I have scans tomorrow and I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow and afterwards I am going to the buffet. So y'all know that always excites me. Going to the buffet. Um but um yeah, you probably hear it in my voice, Tony. And what do what you said please stop it and talk or was I doing something? Hey cousin, looking a certain way. How are you doing, Tony? Hey cousin.
Hey, cousin.
How's it going? Oh, oh. Hey, cousin. Hey, cousin Leah. Like I said, I'm running a few minutes late. Few minutes late. Um, I don't know why, just moving a little bit slow. That's all. Hey, Curtis. Just moving a little bit slow today. Hey, as you all know, this is Mental Health Awareness Month, and we're gonna.
What's up, Curtis?
Okay, okay, Curtis. Okay, Tony. Thank you. Thank you. How are you doing? How are you doing, Tony? Tony, you need to be able to come up here and hang out with me one day. Oh, okay. You need to be able to come up here and hang out and and let us hear your thoughts and your opinion on these subjects.
What's up, Lamar?
Today we are talking about the coping skills that helped us survive childhood are hurting us as adults.
Curtis, you want to come up?
He should be up here.
Yeah, sure. I'm up.
Oh, there you go. Okay, okay.
Hey, Curtis, welcome in. Welcome in.
Yeah, thank you. Today's my birthday, mommy.
Curtis, you have 100 birthdays now.
Yeah.
Yeah, today, it is 2 a.m. here.
Curtis, you just had a birthday last month. I was on the live. Well, I was in the bushes, and you, Curtis.
No, 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 no.
Okay. Happy birthday, Curtis.
No.
I love you, Curtis. But again, today we're talking about the coping skills that helped us survive childhood are hurting us as adults. Again, welcome in, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon. This is not therapy. This is not an alternative for therapy. This is not a substitute for therapy. I'm talking about my real life experiences. and promoting awareness, mental health awareness. Like I said, this is a safe space, no judgment, just real life conversations. Hey, Queen Bee, welcome in, welcome in.
Hey, Queenie.
Woo.
Hey, Queenie.
Woo.
Whoever that is.
Curtis, that's Curtis, honey. Curtis said it's his birthday again. I mean, it's his birthday today.
Okay.
Um, so we have Tony and cousin Leah on YouTube. Um,
Hey, Leah. Hey, Tony.
Tony is always my signal to go ahead and get started. He comes in early, so I'm always like, okay, whenever Tony get here, I'm gonna press the go live button. Just so happened this time I was not in front of the screen to press it, and those few minutes got away from me. Um, but here I am. Here I am. Leah said, "Hey, CJ."
Hey, Leah. Hey, Tony.
Hey, John Boy. Hey, Mary Ellen. I've decided to talk about, tonight the topic was supposed to be about the connection between mental health struggles and food cravings, right? And why? Well, I changed it after last night's live with Lioness. And that's pretty much how it always goes. Even when I have one planned, um, it didn't always go as planned. So um, tonight is not a continuance, but it's from a topic that we touched on that last night live was based on um, the lessons that we learned in childhood and all this. Well, now this is the coping skills that we learned in childhood, how they are not really beneficial. Tony says, hello, everyone. They're not really beneficial in our adult lives. Many of us, I say that, I say us, but, I'm talking about me. Um, I feel like many of us are walking around calling things personality traits. Like, I think that a lot of things that I do um, are weird. And I call that weirdness throw it off. Y'all have heard me say a lot. I know I'm thrown off. But the things that I think I'm walking around calling personality traits are actually survival skills, that I learned as a child. Hey, Michelle, welcome in. Um, and I think I can safely say us because many of us learned how to stay quiet. Um, yeah, I'm having to share my seat with Milton Leroy. I'm having there is so much more space in here, so many more places that he could be, but we have to be touching. So here we are. So if you see me squirming, moving around, I'm trying to readjust because of him. Like I said, many of us, or some of us, learned how to stay quiet. How can I help you? Or we avoid conflict, read people's moods, hide emotions, overachieve, isolate, shut down, people please, stay hyper independent, or emotionally disconnect. And those are mine. Those are just
describing some challenging emotional patterns. It's okay to reach out for support when things feel overwhelming.
Man, she gonna listen to you again.
Mhm. Yeah. I'm gonna ask who sent her. I would put her outside and try to run over her with my car, but if I tried to do it intentionally, I probably never hit that box. If it were laying in the road and I tried to dodge it, I would hit it.
All you gotta do is put it on top of your car whenever you're going off road. She get lost.
Well, you right. Put on the hood when I leave out of here. But yeah, those things that like I said that I call personality traits or I called personality traits. Those are things that I learned from childhood. Those were survival skills that I learned from childhood that don't really serve me anymore as an adult. Um, because those things are not who I truly am. Um, that's those things kept me emotionally safe growing up. And the problem is the coping skills that protected me as a child um, often became the very things that emotionally exhaust me as an adult. So, and y'all can chime in when I be ready. Queen B, you have keys to YouTube, and cousin, I don't know if you have keys or not, but if you want to come over and you want to talk, co-host, say something, just come on. Linus has keys too, but she's not here right now. Linus probably tired. I think we all had kind of a late night last night. Yeah. And y'all excuse me. Y'all know I have my notes.
I heard y'all talking about this.
Hey! I said Linus has keys to YouTube, but she's not here right now because we all had kind of like a late night last night.
I didn't go to sleep last night. I was up till about 3:30, 4 o'clock.
Oh wow. Wow. Mine, you just thinking about things or reflecting?
I don't know. My mind just wouldn't let me go to sleep.
Okay. Well, I was saying if you want to come over, um, and you have anything you want to add to the conversation, you have keys. Um, you're welcome to do so. Tonight we're talking about the coping skills that helped us survive childhood are hurting us as adults. But I was thinking about some of the things that we talked about last night and decided to talk about this today instead of the food, mental health, and the connection between food.
I was sending out the back signal.
Oh, okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But as I was saying, the coping skills that I um I picked up as a child became the things that emotionally exhausted me as an adult. Um, and I think a lot of people can relate to that. Like we touched on last night, we didn't learn how to deal with our emotions. We didn't learn how to process our emotions. And that's still true today. Because if you think about it, like I said, I was raised by somebody broken. I raised children broken, and the cycle just continues until it's broken. And that's not often easy to do because the one who decides to break the cycle become the black sheep, the truth teller, they are often the one that's kind of pushed out or left out. And yeah, they may start breaking the cycle or trying to break the cycle, on their own. But there are so many more in the family that need the help and that are scared to reach out to get it or even to say that they need help. I wish y'all could see this. Hey, Left Lane. How you doing, love? I don't know if y'all gonna be able to see this. Can y'all? I'm showing y'all on. Y'all see how Milton, Leroy, and I are over here.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, lovely. And he does not care that half of his body is under my hip. All Milton is concerned with is that he is touching his mama. Mm. But but yeah, like I said, the one that often goes off, and like I said, that's deemed the black sheep. The truth teller is the one that often gets left out of everything. Because indeed the truth does hurt, regardless of who's telling it. Um, they deem it as you telling the family secrets or making the family look bad. No, like cousin said, sometimes the only way for change to happen is to be uncomfortable. And it's often uncomfortable. The truth is uncomfortable. Hearing it. But once you accept it as the truth, or that there need to be a change, it's easier to heal from it. Honesty. It's the first part of healing. Being honest with yourself, with others. Because you can't heal a lie, you know? It just can't happen. You can't heal a lie. I'm gonna back up a little bit for the ones that came in a little bit late. Like I said, I was a little bit late starting too. But I was saying that the things that I thought were personality traits coming up were just survival skills that I learned as a child. And those survival skills um, taught me how to stay quiet. Remember, I told you I didn't start really talking until I was like 13. Um, avoid conflict. I was the conflict. Uh, but at the same time, to avoid certain conflicts. Um, I didn't really have to hear the words that were being said. If I sensed tension, I would get sick on my stomach. If I could be in my room and sense tension in the house, and and physically become sick on my stomach. Hey, Britt, no worries, no worries. Read people's moods. I definitely became great at that. Reading people's moods and learning how to move around them accordingly. Um, I spoke a little bit on that last night. A person could say something or do something that I don't like, and that's still today. I may not say anything, but I will move accordingly um, with them and around them. Hide emotions, overachieve. I felt like I had to be perfect at everything. And in some areas of life, that's good because I pay attention to details. I'm not going to put anything out half done. Um, but at the same time, mine was just to the max, like the mopping the floors 3 times a day, making sure the house was clean, cleaning over and over and over again. Um, and the same thing with, school, work. Yeah, isolate, isolating myself. That's gotten better in the last year. Spent most of my life doing that, shutting down again. Most of my life doing that. um, people pleasing. And I think I felt like it was only with certain people. It may have spilled over into different areas, but with certain people, like, parents, family, stuff like that, yeah, I could say that I saw. There we go. Hyper independent. Linus and I talked about that last night. The thing was, if I couldn't do it, whether I was working 2 jobs, 3 jobs, if I couldn't do it, um, I didn't need. If I couldn't do it and get it for myself, I didn't need to have it. Um, Instead of letting someone else, if they stepped in, hey, Catrice, if they stepped in like, hey, let me get this for you, or let me make up the difference on that. If I couldn't do it for myself, it wasn't going to get done. And emotionally being disconnected. Like I said, the coping skills that protected me as a child um, were the very things that caused me the most exhaustion as an adult. Um, like I said, I think a lot of people can relate to feeling like that, because a lot of people are trying to heal their adult life without understanding the child version of themselves. Mm. It's still being influenced by their decisions. A lot of us are still reacting from wounds that we never realized were open, or that are still open. That's why we have triggers. That's why I have triggers, because I'm still operating in life, even though it's better. I'm still living life and reacting to some wounds that are still open from childhood. Um, as I stated last night, before I go any further, this conversation that we're having tonight, or any conversation that we have, it's not about blaming anyone. It's not about blaming, my parents. It's not about disrespecting my family. Um, it's not about becoming bitter, because I feel like um, most of the people that raised us were broken, and they raised us of their to the best of their ability with what they had, and that's all they could do. Same with now. I did the best I could do, and I know I made mistakes, raising my kids, because I raised them with untreated mental health issues, um, severe depression, anxiety, PTSD, all of that stuff. So how could they not be affected? So with us being raised by parents with the same or similar or worse issues, how could we not have been affected? So this is not blaming, anyone or disrespecting anyone. Um, so my parents, your parents, whoever raised you, they were just trying to survive too. And survival habits can be passed down through generations. And because of that, it um, can feel like emotional prisons, if we never stop to examine them. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to try to unpack a few of them, like survival coping skills, emotional suppression, hyper independence, people pleasing, shutting down emotionally, anxiety responses, um, childhood emotional conditioning, and what healing actually looks like as an adult. I mean, I know what it's like to to survive so long that, or be in survival mode so long that that's all I knew. I didn't really believe that there was any such thing as true happiness, or that there was any other way to live other than the way that I was living. But at the same time, I knew that I didn't like it. Um, I was always in a state of nervousness, unrest. I always felt, like I was sick on my stomach, literally sick on my stomach all the time. I said I was living just in a loud scream, constantly 24/7, just screaming on the inside and smiling and laughing and functioning externally. Living so long in survival mode, not even realizing that there was another side to this thing. The bright side that everybody talk about that no one knew how to get there. So, when nobody can tell you anything other than pray, or just keep on, it's gonna get better. You realize that y'all don't know the way to the bright side either. You just saying what somebody told you. And I also know what it's like to function while hurting, to laugh while being completely overwhelmed, to say, I'm tired when I actually, and what I actually mean to say is, I'm exhausted. I can't go another further. And from the conversations that we've been having for the last few nights, I know I can't be the only one that has lived that life, or felt like that. But these lives are about, getting you to do self-awareness checks and be honest with yourself, to not perform, not pretend, not hide. And if all you can do, is breathe through it and listen, that's fine. Because eventually, you can't unhear something. Even though, we try to ignore things, you can't unhear something. So something may be said that stick with you and cause you to do some reflection on your own time.
It's just like that video that I posted a couple of days ago about this mother was in her car, um, really just venting about she was struggling taking care of her kids and she was going through some mental stuff. And I mean, she just kept going on about, her situation and her status. And I think that was the best way for her to get it out, was just coming and venting, telling people what she was going through. You know,
Mm-hmm.
not, well, I don't know how to get in contact with her, but I think that was a way to relieve some of that stress. And I just want to say, for people that are going through stuff that needs to get it out, because my uncle always said it's better out than in. There's more pressure in than out. So get it out and get it off your chest and move on, because some things we can never fix.
Right.
Some things that's out there can be what they say pushed to the back of your head or whatever, where it's not always on your mind, but other stuff can be hidden.
Mm-hmm.
So if you need somebody to talk to, please find somebody to talk to. As a male, I have problems that I go through. You know, trauma from a kid. You know, um, trauma of just being in this world, living from like I live. But you know, I try not to talk to myself too much. But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I have to talk it out and let myself know it's gonna be okay. You know, so if you have to talk or if you're going through something, talk it out, get it out, and relieve some of that pressure on yourself. If you're up at 4 o'clock in the morning scrolling on TikTok, do what you gotta do.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Because like the pressure bust pipes.
I agree, but that's also easier said than done. You know, when you talking to yourself and you say self and yourself say,
Mm-hmm.
everything gonna be all right, and yourself be like, child, please, I'm just getting started.
I tell y'all, some of the worst advice I've gotten is from myself.
From myself.
And myself is harsh, rude, mean. I mean, say some of the craziest stuff. But then when the more self-said, the more I'm like, you might be on to something.
You got something now. I'm with you when you're right, Self.
Right. So I get it. It is easier said than done. But with new coping skills that I've learned to break the negative self-talk, when I say I can't do that, which is not too often that I say I can't do something. We weren't allowed to say can't growing up. My mom would always say, if you spell can't, you spell can first. So try it first before you say you can't do it. Distracting, healthy distractions are what I found work for me. If it's something simple as just counting, if I have a thought that, oh, that's going to be too hard, I may not want to do that, I can start counting. And it sounds so simple that you're like, that's probably not going to work. I would have probably thought it wouldn't work either before I tried it. The first few times, I'll try something to prove it wrong or to prove the person wrong that told me that it would work. A lot of times that's my reason for doing it. That's sad, but true. So I was given a list of coping skills years ago. And I didn't think any of them would work. So I was just sitting reading the list and I looked for the most simplest ones. Just so on my next appointment with my therapist, I would have something, something to say contrary to the list that she had given me. Needless to say, the things that I tried, the simple ones that I tried, like the counting forward, counting backwards, just stopping and listening to see what I could hear. What did I smell? What was I touching? Those things actually work. So my next appointment, I didn't have anything bad to say because I actually, like I said, I only did it because I wanted something to, I guess, throw back up in her face. Like this stuff does not work for me. What next? But they actually work. So next time self is talking to you, if you don't have anybody to vent to, or just like Left said, just say it and get it out there. Because when you're coming from now if you're in a negative space, the things you say, you're not going to be able to like self-correct. depending on what headspace you're in. But if you're looking for a positive or a solution to a situation, and that's the way you're approaching it, saying it out loud may actually help you find a positive solution um, to what you're dealing with. If not a solution, give you hope that there is a solution. Hey, Dave. Um, First thing that we're going to talk about, one of my first coping skills that I learned that I thought was just one of my personality traits, one of my throat off traits. Um, I learned to stay quiet. You imagine having a child that you know can talk, but just won't. And my mom asked me, she said, why didn't you talk? Why did it take you this long? Why didn't you talk? And I told her, I said, I didn't have anything to say. Not, I don't know these kids. I'm trying to convince her that these children, you know, are not hers. Um, so I didn't have anything to say. I had convinced myself that I was the only child, and there were six of us, two above me and three below me. But I was the only child. I didn't talk to them, and no child talked to me. I didn't talk to my dad because he made me nervous. Um, I talked to my mom and I talked to my granddad and I talked to my cousin, and that was about it. And that seems crazy, thinking back on it now, but I really didn't have anything to say to them, and they didn't really talk to me either. Mm. Okay, I came up in a household where your emotions did not matter. You didn't have any emotions. We weren't allowed to have, our opinions. You did what they told you to do. Okay, if there was any form of conflict in the house, I instantly, got sick on my stomach, felt unsafe, and if you spoke up, you were talking back, and you ended up getting in trouble for that. I learned at an early age to keep my mouth closed, not to say too much, if anything at all, to stay out of the way. As they say, stay in a kid's place. Um, don't cause problems. Um, and that kept me quiet. It kept me quiet until they couldn't, until I turned 13. And as an adult, I had to learn that being quiet does not cause peace. There's a difference between being quiet and being peaceful. Um, then that becomes a struggle, as an adult. Do I speak up now or do I not? But then you get to the point where, yeah, you just gonna speak up and say any doggone thing, which is a stage that I went through when I was younger. My mom would tell me all the time that there is no filter between your brain, your thoughts, and your mouth. Because I felt like you do something stupid, you need to be called out on something stupid right then. And that's not the way it should be. But that was because I felt like I had to be quiet for so long. And some people growing up in situations like that, um, not speaking up, where they learn to. You started speaking up, and that makes you feel better. It I could say yes, baby, but it didn't. It kind of like just fueled my anger. Um, because when I started talking, I was not saying anything that anybody wanted to hear. Um, because I was mean, I was nasty. Um, I used my tongue as a blade. I was cutting people left and right with it. So no, it didn't. It just fueled my anger. And the only, mhm,
Started getting counseling.
yeah,
Now, how do you feel?
yeah, I feel better now. It's healing now, and it's weird. It's healing now, but I'm operating in a different mindset now. Then I was operating out of pain, out of hurt, out of anger, out of rage. Um, Now, in this mindset, operating from the positive side of things, talking about it
And it's
makes me feel
because there
better.
are still people, even after they have become an adult, still holding on to that pain.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't released it. And because of that, they haven't talked to anybody about it.
Right.
And that's kind of what it end up doing. It end up destroying you and you destroying other people.
Mm-hmm. Everything you touch, everything around you will be a reflection of how you feel. And you feel like you're not anything, you hang with people that feel the same way. People don't feel like they're worth anything. That they have nothing to lose. They do anything and everything because they don't care because they feel like no one else cares. But now healing, I mean, talking about it, I didn't even realize how much talking about it would would cause such a feeling of freedom. It lightened my load a lot talking about it from a healthier standpoint. And the more I talk about things, the lighter I feel. But again, like I said, that was after starting mental health treatment.
I think the first step is just admitting to yourself that you're not okay.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, you can't heal a lie. If you're honest with yourself, you can heal as long as the truth, is out there. And, learning to stay quiet as a child. You have some adults that literally freeze emotionally during difficult conversations. I've seen people do that. I've done that. Especially now, after receiving an ongoing mental health treatment. If I'm uncomfortable with the conversation, and it can be a good conversation. Someone can be telling me how they feel about me or how great of a job I did or whatever. But if it's on me to um to respond with how I feel, most of the time it's gonna be something funny or I'm gonna have to go. I got another call on the other line because I'm still not comfortable um expressing my feelings like that. Um and like that is still parts of this journey. There's still a journey, it's still a healing process, still healing in process. Um, and because of that, there are people that still think I don't care. And I do. It's just that I don't know how to express it. When people are like, well, just say it. It's not that easy. It's not that easy.
Well, I know it's not easy for me to tell people I love them.
Although I do.
Right.
Because it was never said in my household.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to express it. I don't know how to do it.
Right.
I'm learning though.
Right. And same here. I'm learning. And that's what I tell people. I'm like, hey, if I don't respond the way that you feel like I should have, or don't think it is because I don't feel that way. It's just that I don't know how to convey or express how I'm feeling at the moment, and just give me time. But don't stop treating me the way you're treating me, because eventually I'm gonna get comfortable with it, and I'll figure it out, you know. But it's gonna take time. But touching on what cousin talked about last night with the dating thing, a lot of times when I say stuff like that, or I let them know stuff like that, they misread that and think that I don't care. Because if you felt like that, you would say it. It's not that hard to say. It is. It is. Okay, cousin. Okay. Um, like I said, childhood trained me how to keep my emotions to myself. And even though I'm in treatment, like I said, healing is a process. Nothing happens overnight. Like Linus just said, it's easier said than done. A lot of things are. But excuse me, I am trying. It just takes time. And like they say, the ones who are supposed to be here, or be in my life will be in my life. Um, and the ones that leave, adios. Just making room for more good people to come. So me being quiet, like I said, wasn't who I didn't want to always be off by myself doing, coloring in a coloring book, writing, or talking to the neighborhood dogs and cats. I would have much rather have been with the other kids, but like I said, I was told that I did great by myself, so that's what I thought I was supposed to be doing. And I guess that's again where, people pleasing coming in. I didn't like it. It was uncomfortable. I didn't want to be over there by myself sitting, you know, sitting in the backyard by myself coloring, and while everybody else in the street playing dodgeball, kickball, riding their bikes. But that's what I was told I was good at. So that's what I did. Um, and that became normal for me until it wasn't. Until it wasn't. Um, I think I just got tired of being accused of stuff, getting a whooping for stuff that I wasn't doing, because they knew I didn't talk, um, or wouldn't talk. My other brothers and sisters, if they did something and who did that? She did. And after I took the first whooping for it, they were like, "Oh, we can get into stuff and blame her for it all the time." Then eventually that got old to them, because they figured out that if I got a whooping, then I was gonna whoop them. They were gonna pay one way or the other. But my sister said it was like I walked in the room, went to sleep 12 years old, woke up my birthday as 13, and came out and it was a new sheriff in town. And that's exactly the way I felt. It's gonna be some changes made around here. And anybody and everybody is gonna get it. Y'all gonna know I'm here. So being quiet for 13 years, and in that 13 years, a lot of stuff had happened. A lot of built up anger, a lot of built up pain. So when I came out of that room kicking butt that day, like I said, I was always only fighting one person. But even though I came out kicking and fighting and acting a plum fool, I still didn't feel any better. Not one bit. I couldn't have fought enough to get all of that out of me. Because if that be the case, I should have been free from that a long, long time ago. Long time ago. But the suppression by me suppressing my emotions, I mentioned to y'all that I had migraine headaches as a child in elementary school. Was diagnosed with migraine headaches, um, stomach issues. I had ulcers, bleeding ulcers, um, in elementary school. Insomnia, um, panic attacks, stressed about everything, and I was just tired. Even though I was young, I played sports. I slept most of the time. Any free time I had, I was sleeping. I was sleeping class, and because I was still making A's, still in the honors clubs, they didn't care. They didn't ask me why are you so tired. Oh, she's growing. She's playing sports, and probably typical teen, staying out late, and but they didn't care. Like I said, my grades were still great, and my grades were great because of that um, need to overachieve. During the summer, we had two choices after we did our work. We could read the Bible or read a school book. I would always choose a school book. And school book, encyclopedia, dictionary, whatever to keep from reading the Bible. So therefore, when it came time to go back to school, I was already ahead. And that was still a choice that we had during the school year: Bible, school book. And like I said, I always chose school book unless I was in trouble and I had to read the Bible. Um, but in doing that, I was able to at least do 4 or 5 lessons ahead of time. And I enjoy reading. I loved reading back then. That was my escape. Um, so when I couldn't read the kind of books that I wanted to read, like books that were about travels or stuff like that. Because, like I said, we had two children. I sneak and read the books about, traveling around the world. I could read the Black history books and all of that. I could read the Bible. Or I could read a school book. So, what looked like me being an overachiever was me choosing not to read the Bible and not being able to read a book that could, take me somewhere else, like the books about traveling to Paris and and all of that. Um, because I did choose to read the school book and do the work, it looked like I was an overachiever. Is that what an overachiever is anyway? I don't really know because I did it out of I felt like I have a choice. So I don't really know. Um, but with all those things that I just listed, like I said, the headaches, the stomach issues, insomnia, panic attacks, stress, exhaustion, the body will always say what the mouth refuses to. Like I said, whatever you're going through, whatever struggle, stress, eventually it's going to manifest. What's going on the inside will manifest on the outside. Um, It has to. I don't think if for the issues that I had, like, depression, anxiety, I don't think if not for those issues that I would have sarcoidosis. I really don't. Like I said, I feel like the stress and the mental struggles that I was under um, caused my immune system to be weakened or non-existent to the point of whatever I came in contact with that developed into sarcoidosis. Been um, had I not been experiencing those issues, I would have had a stronger immune system and been able to fight off whatever it was that I came into contact with. Welcome in, Melvin. Welcome in. Um, like I said, whatever's going on internally, the body will always show externally. I found out later in life that healing sometimes start with something as simple and difficult as I know and I've heard y'all say, is learning to say that hurt me. Just being honest. And at some point, early on, before I decided to seek mental health treatment, honesty, being honest about what was going on, felt scarier than suffering. Because I felt like if I shared what was going on with me, then I would have to deal with judgment from other people. I felt like that the finger would be pointed at me, like it's your fault, because that's the way I had lived, feeling like it was my fault. Like I said, after seeking treatment and not getting what I thought, not getting the judgment that I thought I would, actually none at all. Look back, and say hindsight is 2020. That I wish I had done this sooner, but everything happens, in divine timing and at the right time. But it definitely would have been nice to have been able to live like this um, a lot sooner. Definitely would have. Um, the line is, and I touched on that hyper independence last night. Um, like I said, I wore that as a cape. People thinking that I was making all these moves and making everything happen and all this and that and all the praise that went along with it. Like I said, that was a big lie. Ah, that was a big lie. I look strong on the outside, but like I said, I was just one big scream on the inside. Trauma. If trauma could wear a business suit and be dressed to the nines, that was me. And that hyper independence, um, as a child, it taught me, well, even as an adult, what it taught me was that no one was coming to my rescue. Um, I couldn't rely on anybody else to help me. Um, I couldn't trust anybody else with my emotions. Um, and that if I did um, feel vulnerable or feel like I wanted to tell someone, that it would lead to disappointment or more pain. So me always saying, I'll do it myself. I don't need anybody else. I'll figure it out. I'm the only one that I can depend on. Mm, yes. And that is absolutely not true. Like I said, we were not made, we were not created to live on this earth alone. At some point in time in life, we're all going to need somebody. And I say it all the time. If I had had the support system that I have now, um, at the beginning of my journey with sarcoidosis, I really feel like it would be a lot better now. Probably remission now. Because now I realize I don't have to do any of this on my own. When I say I need help, I'm not just saying it to anybody. I know that um, I have people that I can rely on. And I know if I call y'all and I'm telling y'all what I'm going through emotionally, it's safe with y'all. No judgment. I'm not gonna be thrown back up in my face when I'm laughing and feeling better. Oh, you were just down last week talking about this and talking about that, but look at you now, or I don't have to worry about somebody else calling me like, hey, so and so just called me, told me you trying to slide off the roof on your head. What's that about? But that was only after mental health treatment. Because before then, I would work day and night. Like I said, 3 jobs, going to school, 2 kids, husband. It was a mess. I needed some help. And I also felt like then, like I said, if I ask for help, they're not gonna do anything. All they're gonna do is tell me why they can't help me and what kind of shape they in. They in worse shape than I am, you know. So that just left me. And I know, Linus, we talked about this last night. He was saying, letting people know that you need help is uncomfortable. Um, and even if they do step in to support you, it still, feels suspicious. I get it. Trusting people, felt dangerous for me too. But this space right now feels so much better than trying to carry everything, all by myself. Not only was I physically exhausted, I was mentally exhausted, financially exhausted because, you're trying to do everything by yourself. And it's impossible. It's impossible. And it made my life unbearable. Like I said, I still have, a few issues right now, sharing the weight. Like cousin say, you say what you need. Um, and if we can, we will. But it's our choice whether we want to be there or not. I think that right there will be something that stick with me forever. Cause I never looked at it like that. Never. But it's a great way to view it. People don't have to do anything, but they make a choice to do it, and they do. We talked last night. I was telling you about how I didn't, and I still don't always show excitement about different things. especially if somebody say, "Well, I'm going to do this for you." I show it now more so than I did, more so than I did maybe even last year before last, because like I said, I tied excitement into the same category as disappointment. If I show excitement, that's going to lead to disappointment, whether it's indirectly or directly. But at some point in my life, like I said, especially around Christmas time, when all the other kids were so excited about Christmas and this and that, not me. Now, if it so happened that they woke up on Christmas morning and there was something there, that was all fine and good. You never got anything more out of me than you did when you woke up and was there was nothing there. Because I felt like the times that I was excited about it, wake up and there's nothing there. And I took that as a punishment. Everything in life growing up, I took as a punishment. That was a punishment just for me. Because so many things that had happened, you know, at a young age that I felt like that's all life had to offer was punishments. And my name was on top of the list, on every line of the list. I don't care who else was getting punished, she getting some too. Just because she is on this earth, just because she breathing, she getting some of this too. And I carried that all the way into my adult life. So you imagine that you go through life thinking that you're just born to be tortured. Because that's how I felt. I mean, that's it. That was written in a lot of my journals. Wake up looking for what's gonna happen next. All through the day. That feeling. I'm gonna turn this corner, I'm gonna make this step. Something gonna be waiting on me. That disappointment, that changed me a lot. And I'm pretty sure it changes people, changes everyone, especially, children, especially when there's not an explanation for it. Broken trust changes people too. Um, Growing up emotionally unsupported changes people. And eventually that hyper independent became isolation. Um, and that isolation quietly um, damaged my mental health and caused a lot of struggles. Going through life, I was telling people that I'm good, emotionally, but here I am, like I said, drowning, fighting with every breath to keep my head above water, but telling everybody I'm good. I got this. Like I said, for all they knew and for all they could see, that was the truth. But deep down, they didn't know that. Deep down, I didn't want to be strong anymore. I didn't want to be strong in the first place. Because, like I said, that's a heavy load to carry. Being strong, or being told to be strong, or you are strong. You're the strong one. Um, when I graduated from high school, I graduated in a wheelchair, still going um, to re- to the rehab, learn how to walk again because I had a car accident in my senior year. Even though I was out of school due to that car accident, um, I still graduated with honor. And I was speaking to my mom, talking to her before she passed away. I had some things that I wanted to know the answers to before she left. One of them was, why is it that here I am graduating, high school, college with honors and not getting a big celebration like my sister who graduated with C's and D's. It's like they praise her for not getting an F. As long as she didn't have an F on her report card, it was like go kill the fattest calf. But here, my sister right above me and myself are making A's in honors clubs, graduated with honor, and it's like, oh, okay. And I asked her, I said, why? She said, because it came easy to you. She had to actually try for a C or D. So the one she had to do was write her name. How she tried? That still didn't make any sense to me.
It does make sense to me because every child has to be treated differently according to their personality and according to how they do things in life. And sometimes, a parent knows who's the strongest and who's the weakest, and they kind of like pamper the weakest more so than they do the strongest because they know they can always be okay. They don't need that push to get things done like that weak one does that needs that push and that recognition to get things done. So I kind of get it what she did, and I know it doesn't make I know it doesn't make you feel better.
Not at all.
But that's pretty much why it is. Why they did what they did. So.
Yeah, it caused resentment between the siblings too.
Yes, it did.
Because
not even they didn't really fully understood why it was being done. But that's why.
Right. I mean, she running around here with a book on her face, sleeping, and then they praising her for as long as she don't bring home an F. She could go to the store, get new shoes. We couldn't. With A's. Exactly, Linus. We weren't okay.
Now it should have been, all of y'all should have got praise. I agree with that, but I'm just telling you the way from her standpoint, why she was doing what she did.
Yeah. I mean, all I could do was just accept what she said. Like I said, it didn't make any sense to me. It's still, like I was thinking, she's talking about,
she had for a long time, but as I watched my kids and seeing where my daughter was the one that always got it done, and my son kind of drug his feet. So I treated him a little bit differently than I might have gave him a little bit more attention than I gave my daughter. Not that I loved them any differently. I just knew that he needed more push than she did. And she took, right like you, to this day, she don't understand why, you petted him, you this, you that. Maybe so, but in my eyes, it wasn't petty. It was like giving him that push, that confidence.
Can I ask you, what is the difference between a push and a pat?
A push is when you always trying to get them to see who they are. Just like this one here, this right here. He doesn't believe that he's smart enough, and he is. So you keep letting them know that they are smart and that they can do, whatever they put their minds to, versus the other one already knows that it's like it just came automatically to them. But this is what I have to do to get it done, and this is what I'm going to do to get it done. Versus the other one, they didn't go through that technique. That just wasn't born in them, you know. So all it took was for one person to say you can't do it, and they took that, they believed that, they ran away with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With some will say you can't do it, and they'll say, "Well, yes, I can, and I will."
Yeah,
I'll
prove you wrong. Right? Exactly. I get that. Yeah. Okay.
It doesn't make the other person on the other end feels any better, but yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, in my case, you know, she was the oldest, and I'm like, why would she not be deemed the strong one? You know what I mean? I'm the baby, and
I think that too is what we. Because what is wrong with these people?
who?
Oh, you keep calling me.
Oh,
Jesus, Weezer. I think what did you say now? I lost my train of thought because of the phone.
That notification got you.
I don't know what I was going to say.
Don't ask me.
I forgot. No, you were saying something, and I was.
Yeah, you were responding.
What you said.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
And I don't forgot what it was now.
Yeah, me too. It's all right. Oh, I was saying that she was the oldest. Yeah, I'm the baby. She's the oldest.
Why do we feel because they are the oldest that they are the strongest?
I feel like they should be. They've been here long enough.
Why can't the baby be the? Well, if they paid attention to what was going on around them, yes. See, I was that child that didn't pay attention to any damn thing. I just wanted to be a kid. All I wanted to do was just play and have fun. I wasn't paying attention to what was going on around me. You know? Yeah. That's all I wanted to do. Versus my brother, my youngest brother, he paid attention to everything that was going on. He seen maybe the little struggle that my parents was going through. Personally, I ain't really give a damn. You know what I mean? Yeah. I just wanted to be a kid.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, my daughter is the strongest versus my son because he didn't pay attention to what was going on either, but she did. She seen the struggles that I went through in raising her. And like she said, I didn't want to grow up being that way. He seen a little bit of the struggle, and it didn't make it. It's like it didn't even faze him.
Yeah.
But just because they're the oldest don't mean that they should be the strongest either. Because, like I said, they probably just weren't paying attention.
But then, after my mom passed, then want to show up. Well, you know, I'm the big sister. I should be respected. Get out my face.
Right, that part.
Get on.
That part.
Spell it. You want to be the big sister?
Stay away.
That's what I'm saying.
That I don't need you. Now you here.
Yeah.
No,
right. That's it. No, I don't accept that. So, yeah. But she got to pick and choose when she, you know, would be the strong one. You know, I didn't. Right. I didn't get that. I as long as I can remember, as far back as I can remember, I was, you know, independent, strong, and, you know, self-starting and all of that stuff, even in elementary school. All you have to do is explain it to her, show it to her one time she got, or, you know, she'll read it and she can pick it up. That meant nobody needed to help me with my homework. Nobody needed to, you know, I needed help, but I had a sister.
Because they figured, hey, you did it. You got it done.
Right. Like I said, by
I get where you're coming from, but I also get where they was coming from also.
Well, I think as parents, they should have found a way to give everybody the same attention.
Absolutely.
Not necessarily the same way.
mm-hmm.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because everybody don't need to be loved the same way.
Absolutely.
But as your children, if you see the strong one, you find a way to, you know what I'm saying, spend some time, show that one some attention. Although you think they might not need it, find a different way to show them that you love them.
Right.
Because at the same
And I celebrated both of my children the same. When they achieved something, I celebrated them.
because at the end of the day, we were all children. You know what I mean? And to see one be celebrated and the others not, that, like I said, not only did that cause issues with the parents, but also with the child that was being celebrated too.
That's right.
Because she saw that she was being celebrated and we weren't. So it was like, you know, the queen and the peasant kind of thing.
Right.
So then you wonder, what did you do so well that you are in their good graces, that they love you so much? When here we are going above and beyond, and they're like, they don't even see us.
Yeah. So like I said, I don't think it had to be. I don't feel like it had anything to do with who they loved the most. It's just who they thought needed the most attention, push.
But everybody needs attention, especially
as children, right?
Everybody needs it.
Is what I'm getting to.
They may not need the same kind of attention,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but we all need some attention.
Yeah.
See, back in the day, they didn't see it like that. They just see, you know. So we grow up and we try to do ours differently. I would try to do ours differently, you know. But yeah, they didn't see it that way.
That's why I was telling
I get it.
I was telling my therapist, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel unseen because when I was the baby, I had two older sisters, and by the time my mama got to me, she was tired.
She was tired.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't get half of what they got.
Right. And then, you know,
that's right.
Down and Linus, you just said that just made me think of something. This story, they told it, I guess, to be fun. You know, it's funny, maybe it's true, but to them it was funny. I remember my mom saying that by the time she got to me, she didn't even have any breast milk left. Like, dang. You know what I mean?
It's funny, but it ain't funny.
Right. That part.
But see, I always thought it was the middle child that got the less attention.
I am in the middle though. See, I'm the last of the girls. Okay, Kevin. I'm in the middle. There were 3 girls before me. One of them passed away. I'm the 4th girl, and then there are 3 boys up under me. So I'm the middle, but I'm the baby girl.
Yep, I was pretty much in the middle. Yep.
And you know,
I don't feel like I got as much attention.
The middle kids, we different. Middle and last, we different. Because like Lana said, by the time, you know, we got to fight for attention because the older ones got, you know, the attention because they were there first. Then after you, their babies coming after you. So you just kind of like shoved off to the side because I got more babies coming. You know what I mean? So you just fend for yourself. But like I said, she used to tell that story and they would laugh, but it would make me mad. It hurt my feelings because that meant that everybody else got some breast milk and I didn't. And you think right. Right. And I'm looking at my sister that's kind of heavy set thinking that she got it all. You know what I'm saying? So now I got a problem with her. She got it all. I got a problem with her now. You know? Okay, cousin. So
That's fun.
see, but it's something how the things from childhood cause different things, you know, in our adulthood. Like
Yeah,
mine,
and they wonder why, like, two kids can be brought up in the same household and come out completely different.
absolutely, absolutely. Because people will ask now, is that your real sister? Y'all got the same mom and dad. I said, until I hear different. Because we're totally different.
And I don't think they realized what they was doing to their children, bringing that distance between you all.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But it definitely
And then
created
when you
some.
get older in that age, they wonder why they don't hang out, why they don't, you know, why y'all don't like each other, why y'all don't.
Absolutely.
We didn't like each other's kids.
So
Thank you.
expect for us to do it now.
Right.
Right.
We didn't hang out together as children. We didn't like each other then. And then, you know, you get older and you learn that just because it's blood don't mean there's an obligation there, because you brought up thinking that blood means obligation. You have to be around this person because that's your blood. You have to be around that person because that's your mama, that's your daddy, that's your sister. No, you don't. No, you don't.
And boundaries with them too.
That's it. That's absolutely true. This might be a two-part live. Might be a part 2 to this live because honey, we just on number 3. And we've been in it an hour and a half. People pleasing.
But as you got older, and how I have just explained it, do you think that you can now see it in a different way?
Absolutely.
No,
No.
yeah.
It's not going to change anything
Right.
now because I know
it wasn't your siblings' fault though. It was the way of your parents.
But she ran with it too, though. But she ran with it too, Queen Bee.
as well.
She ran with it too.
Right.
She treated me like crap because she knew that they had her back.
That part. And she knew and she took advantage of it.
Yes.
Just like they did.
Yes.
So it's on her too.
And I understand you're probably thinking that she was a child doing childish things as well. But even in adulthood, the relationship remained the same. I was only useful
because they was never taught any better as they became adults. It was never taught any better. It's like if you wasn't taught how to love, how do you know how to love?
That's true.
If you was never taught that.
But she was taught that she was better than everybody else.
And that's all she knows. But as she grew older, she was never still taught that, hey, the way our parents raised us was wrong.
And she never got to it either.
Right. So even now,
She probably
right. So by me,
that we are.
even if I did have a change of heart after my mom said it, after you said what you just said, even if I did, that doesn't change her. She's still walking around like the Queen of England hollering, pardon me. She does it all the time. People ask me all the time, are you sure? Are you sure that's your sister? Y'all remember? I said, until I'm proven otherwise, yes. You know? But I think in a way of me trying to be included or be good enough for her, money was involved. Or serve, you know, if I didn't feel like I could be, anytime she called me needing anything or wanting anything, if I had it, even if I needed it, I would give it. Because I wanted to be in the same category that she was in. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then at some point, they begin to take advantage of that. And what it looked like, looking back now, is what I was actually.
Therapy need to come in there.
They don't believe in that. They don't believe in that.
No, right. If they don't believe in it, then it's a
just gonna keep doing
situation.
Right.
Right.
Like I said, if it weren't for me, giving out money or whatever, whatever they needed, whatever they call, they can have it.
But even therapy is not a end all be all. You know what I'm saying? It don't help everybody.
No. And
no, it does not.
Like I said, they don't believe in it. Yeah, they don't believe in it. So, yeah. So, and it's fine. I'm fine with the way things are now. It's just that, coming up, that the way it was not right. The way it made me feel was not right. And I'm pretty sure I would like to think maybe, she's had enough time to, to look back, because we don't communicate at all. Not at all. They don't even know where I am. And I like it like this. This is the most peace I've had in my life. I don't have to, because when they call, my stomach would automatically, I would, have that anxious feeling, because I didn't know what motive did they have for calling. You calling to genuinely check on me, or you calling to get information just so you can run and tell somebody else?
Or because they want something.
Right. Or that.
At least you know why the issue is between you and your sister. I never knew the issue. What was my sister? Because we didn't grow up in the same household. By the time I was born, she was already grown and out of the house. But we just still didn't have that sisterly bond.
Yeah.
And I to this day, I don't understand why we did.
Well, you just said y'all weren't raised as sisters, though. She was gone. Yeah. She was more like a.
Yeah, she was gone. She was out of the house.
Yeah, so it'd be kind of hard.
That's a little bit of a different situation.
Right, it is. That's why I said y'all know why you are with the way you are with your siblings. With me, I don't.
Yeah,
I didn't have that relationship.
Yeah,
she was already grown and woman.
Yeah, and unless she made an effort to come and get her little sister, it wasn't like you could drive. You know what I'm saying? She would have to come. She would literally have to come and get you, or send for you, or And she was off doing her thing, doing, young adult things.
Doing grown folks.
That's it. That part. I think I could deal with that more so.
The rift that I have between my sisters, I've tried to talk to them and let them know, hey, when y'all have something, let me know so I can show up. And I see on pictures that, hey, they had a crawfish boil on such and such day. They had my stepmom's retirement party on such and such day. And I'm like, hey, why y'all didn't come and let me know? Oh, it was a last minute thing. I'm not doing nothing.
Yep.
And then what the cold part about is, I've talked to a couple of times about it. Hey, even if you think I'm out of town, just call me and say, hey, leave me a message saying, hey, we doing the leave for month. And for the weekend, not just today, for the weekend. And then go home. And then I noticed the place they are. And I'm like, hey, y'all was in Houston? She was like, yeah. But we was down there.
Lord have mercy.
I'm flying something. Oh, it was just the girls' night out.
I get it. I understand, left lane. Or the excuse. Well, I heard you weren't feeling well.
You still could have said something. I could have took y'all out more fun at.
Right. Right. Exactly. Like I said, I understand that completely. Um,
I'm not finna beg to be a part of somebody's life that don't want me there. Because if they wanted me there, they would make those phone calls. They would reach
eventually.
out and say, hey, you know what I'm saying? We down here in Houston, come, you know,
Mm-hmm.
if they want to be there. So apparently y'all don't want me there if y'all do.
Mm-hmm.
True that, true that.
Yep.
Y'all doing stuff without me, you know what I'm saying? But don't call me later on when you need my help, because what?
Right.
You need who?
That's it. I'm not picking up. And eventually that's what happened. Eventually that's what happens. Because like I said, they stopped inviting me. They were like, well, if we invite you, you say you don't feel good, or you come and you don't stay long or whatever. So when I would find out they were doing stuff, I'm like, oh, y'all were there. And you find out on social media, you know what I mean? And then they were like, oh, well, I heard you weren't feeling. Well, who told you that? No one called me.
My thing is, I don't care how I was feeling on that day. I might have been having an aneurysm on that day, but at least you reach out.
Right.
You know what I mean? To say, hey, you know what I'm saying? Here's the invitation. If you want to come, come. If you don't want to come, I understand.
Right.
But
Exactly.
at least extend the invitation.
That's right. That's right.
Don't assume, because they know, you know what they say about assuming.
That's right. That's right. And they not even assuming on my end. They just straight up being an ass because nobody called. I don't know who could have told them I wasn't feeling well because nobody called. For me to even say that to them.
Right.
Just making up something. All because you just didn't want me there. Instead of just saying that. But
just say
I
that.
got the
You don't want
message.
me there, say it. Say, hey, we doing this, but I don't want you to come.
I got the message. And then when I stopped, you know, like, well, hey, I'm not going anywhere that I'm not wanted. When I took that attitude, then it like does something to them. Now, oh, you don't want to be here. You don't care whether you're here or not. Well, let's start back inviting you. Because
No.
we want you to care that we didn't invite you.
No, it's a complete sin. And at this point, no, I don't care.
Right. And that seems to bother them more. So that, you know, that my feelings being hurt that you didn't invite me. Now your feelings hurt supposedly because I don't care that you don't invite me. Okay.
They say you damned if you do it, damned if you do.
Exactly. But like I said, honey, I love this part of life that I am in right now. Without all the family stuff, and I don't have to, like I said, I don't have to worry my phone ring what the intentions are, why they call it. Because they can't call me. And it's peaceful. I like it like that. I love it like this. Yeah, we talked about people pleasing, and what that looks like, you know, learning people pleasing as a child, what it looks like as an adult, over giving, overextending yourself, constantly apologizing, um, never wanting to disappoint people, to the point of, like I said, going to events where I knew that I didn't feel good or I shouldn't have attended. But because I didn't want anyone upset, because they, you know, wanted me there, they went out of their way, you know, to invite me and all this and that, knowing that the next, you know, 3 days afterwards, I would have to pay for that, for me going. And they didn't care. So yeah, I didn't want to disappoint people. The fear of rejection, which is still, you know, we touched on that last night. That is still something that I struggle with, not as much in my everyday life, but when it comes to, you know, dating and all that. And it's not because of anything other than my illness and the mental illness part, you know, the triggers. And that kind of stuff. I just feel like that's a lot. So it's a lot for me. So I feel like it would be a lot um, for someone else. And someone messaged me. Someone messaged me, left a comment that said, I made that same statement last night in the live. I said, it's a lot for me, and I feel like it would be a lot to put on someone else. And they messaged me and they were like, have you ever thought that your load would actually be lighter because someone is now stepping up to help you carry it? No, I never thought about it like that because I never thought of sharing the load with anybody. I just felt like it would just be a lot for me to dump on them, whether it was sharing the load or a fourth of a load or three-fourths of a load. It's still a lot. Um, just them independently of each other is a lot. Whether it was just that I entered a relationship with sarcoidosis, that's a lot. Like I said, watching someone hurt, someone struggle um, with the illness, knowing that you can't do anything to help them, help relieve the pain, help make them feel better, comfort them. Um, that would play. That would be hard on another person's mental health, in my mind. Um, I'm gonna ask one way and Lamont, because y'all are the men that are here right now. How would y'all deal with that? Or could you deal with that? Would you want to deal with it?
I can say like this. I had dealt with my exes having blood sugar issues, uh, different illness. So I took that challenge on head on. So yes, I could deal with it because I know that I'm a type of person that I'm gonna help somebody no matter what. If we dating, we're in that relationship, your burden become my burden. You're not gonna bear that burden alone because that's what I signed up for. It's not a need that I'm doing, it's a want that I'm doing.
Well, how do you keep your mental health in check um, with that? How do you?
It's like a badge of honor. Like for me, I'm a fixer. I'm sorry. I'm a fixer, so it's like a badge of honor that I'm there in your time of need, that I can help when I can help. Because it might be times that I can help and I don't help. You might be off in the restroom, in excruciating pain, and you're not saying anything. But let me do something. Let me do what I can, because what I can't do. But if I'm there and you just need somebody to run some hot water so you can sit in, so your muscles can relax, let me do that while I'm there. If I can't, I can't. But like I said, to me, it's a badge of honor. I was there, for you when you needed me without you having to ask. I was there.
Okay. Now think about this. Like you said, somebody, and this for both of y'all, somebody in excruciating pain that you love and care deeply for, right? There's nothing you can do to relieve that pain. That's got to take a toll on you mentally. So how do you deal with that?
Well, if it's a person that you care about, mentally it's going to drain you because you want to take that burden away from them. Not that you want to, take on their pain, but you want to take that burden.
And that's what I'm
getting away from them. So mentally, yes, you're gonna get part of that You put it
you gonna feel it.
that trauma that's going on.
Exactly.
That's really what it is trauma. You know, but at the end of the day, I'm there for you. And if you're there for me, we gonna fight this to the end. We gonna do this together. I love it when I see 80 and 90-year-old people that's still together and they can walk back to you and say, it ain't always been good. We used to fight like cats and dogs. But in our later days, we ended up the best of friends. I see people wheeling their grandparents off into the hospital to see the other grandparent. And it's so, what women say, it's so cute to see them, oh, they want to hug each other and kiss each other.
Yeah.
You better go sit down and put your depends on
Yeah.
somewhere. And cool. You.
Well, that's what I was getting at, Left Lane. That's what I was getting at. That it is an emotional. It's a weight, like it's a trauma. That is being put on another person. So, like I said, I have to think about that a lot. Is it fair to share this load with somebody else?
If that guy, say if the roles would reverse, how will you handle that load? And that guy didn't tell you none of this stuff that was going on with him, but all of a sudden he comes up and tell you, I'm letting you know I got this going on. I got all these issues going on. It's hard for me to get out of the bed some days. How will you handle that? Will you take that on, or will you say, you know what, I'm walking away from it?
No, I wouldn't walk away. I more than likely would already have known that before he even told me, because I do watch, I do listen, and I do feel. So I probably would have already known that, just been waiting on him to say something.
There you go.
So no, I was a nurse, so there's no way I'm walking away because of health reasons. As long as you're not taking out your frustrations about your health issues on me, and you allow me to help and be there, I'll be there. But men and women are different. We're nurturers by nature. So that's why I asked you to. And I asked Tony over on YouTube, what are his feelings, his thoughts on this subject? Because like I said, guys, men and women are different.
I was just having this same discussion the other day.
Wait, maybe, I'm sorry.
I was just having this discussion the other day with someone about when the wife goes down, or even just a girlfriend, the male, because she can no longer produce, will might. I'm not saying all men will walk away, but with women, we toughen it out and we stick there to the bitter end. You don't find too many women that's going to walk away. They're going to stay there and support that man versus a man. And even if the man do stay there, he's still going to step out.
Yeah.
And I say that because I watched my father with my mother during her illness. He was there. He treated her like a queen. Little did I know, he was also stepping out on her to be with another woman to fulfill the part that my mother could no longer do. Versus a woman probably won't even do that either. Right. She's going to stay faithful to that man to the bitter end.
Right. Quincy, you and I were talking about this. I was telling you that when I've gone to when I first became an ambassador for sarcoidosis, when I would go to the meetings, a lot of the men would show up with their wives, and a lot of the women we'd show up either alone or with our friend or with a family member, simply because the women that were married, and then recently diagnosed with sarcoidosis, we ended up divorced. The men, not the same. Their wives were right there. And then a lot of times what I've seen growing up outside of sarcoidosis, what I've seen growing up, like when the husband passed, the wife may not ever remarry. But if the wife passed, the husband be married the next month.
Within the 3 or 4 months.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes. So that's why I'm asking you all, because like I said, men and women are different in how they process stress, their emotions. And
I know with me, I would go for a walk to relieve my stress. I either go fishing or go just walk around in the store and just all right, I know all this burden is on me right now, but I know I can't let this person down because I know I took on that responsibility. So I had to take a moment back and do a little woosah moment. It's like, okay,
yeah,
let me reset myself. Because if I don't, I'm gonna
go
crazy.
That part, Lamont, that's all I'm trying to get everybody to understand. It's not so much as, like I said, that I don't want to live the rest of my life alone, and definitely I don't want to, live the rest of my life alone because of a sickness. I don't. But I'm also trying to be considerate and not put that emotional burden on someone else, because I know it would be a huge weight, because it's a huge weight for me. And not everybody, not every man, even the ones who think they can, not every man is capable of taking on that kind of weight. And it could not be like the financial part of it or anything like this. The fact that someone you love, you're having to sit back and watch them go through this, and there's nothing you can do about it. They're going to have a outlet too.
That's true. Everybody needs an outlet some kind of way. I don't care if it's family events, playing Scrabble, like Lamont said, going fishing. You need to have that time to be able to debrief and start all over, because, like you said, some things are treacherous on the body, the mind, and you if you got to do it day after day, week after week, month after month, you get wore down.
Thank you.
So you need that time to be able to vent some kind of way, or to relieve your stress some kind of way. As far as the man leaving a woman because she has a critical illness, if he loves you, there wouldn't be a thought in their minds that they're finna leave because you have something going on. Now, on the other hand, men are visual. They get to seeing these other women walking around, and they, I hate to say it, but they might step out, but I don't think most men would actually leave. And if they do, they're shallow. I'm just going to say it like that. If they do, they're shallow. But I think if you really love somebody, you're going to be there with them through thick and thin. They didn't even have to put it in the marriage certificate or vows to say through thick and thin or sickness and health. If you love somebody, you want to be there for them, whatever goes on.
Absolutely. But love get to looking funny when, like you said, the person that they love can't get up and go out anymore, We're not going out to eat. We're not going to the movies. We're not, going to the car shows. We're not going to the, drag strip because they physically can't, not because they don't want to. They just physically can't. And that's a hurtful feeling to be in that situation.
Because my aunt is going through her dementia spells right now. And it's places that she would love to go when she was well. But now it's a burden to take her to different places because for one, she's gonna ask you 300 times, do this look okay? Did I tell you that, that I left the water on at the house? That, and instead of her enjoying herself, her mind is somewhere totally different. Yeah. And it hardens my soul that she can't sit here and enjoy herself without her mind racing about something that's mediocre right now that she thinks that's important. Yeah. So, you might be willing to take that person, but on the other hand, it's really not a good idea to take them because it's going to be more of a heartache
on both
to know that they're not able to enjoy the moment.
Well, I can tell you what was a big heartache, big disappointment to find out the things that I couldn't do anymore. There was somebody else standing there with him, sitting there with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that's when you lose your front teeth. Because, you get a cup thrown at you real fast, you might lose your front teeth sitting there with my woman.
No, I'm just saying, because I couldn't do those things anymore that we were able to do, enjoy doing, because I couldn't do them anymore. He found somebody else to take my place. And like I said, it wasn't any fault of my own. I just physically could not do those things anymore. At that time. And because he still could, he still enjoyed doing those things. He just found somebody else to take, I guess he thought his sick wife would never find out, but I did. And that's also a feeling I don't want to go through again either. I don't know from day to day what this looks like. So I can't tell.
I'm like you. That's why I'm not so eager to jump into a relationship because I've been hurt before. The same time where I'm thinking I'm giving my arm, you don't care nothing about what I'm doing. It's all about you. Mm-hmm. And when I find out, I'm just devastated. So I'm like, well, screw this. Why am I so, eager to be a pleaser when it seems like every time I turn around, I'm getting the bad end of the stick, the short end of the stick. So my thing is, that's why I tell people, I guess honestly, that's why I tell people, I'd rather find my best friend than find the love of my life. Yeah. We can go and have fun and enjoy each other. It's better than me being emotionally attacked to a person. I just rather be able to go somewhere and hang out and do stuff with them, and I won't get my feelings involved. I won't get so caught up and devastated, So.
Well, let me let you in on a little secret. I'll let you in on the secret, Left Line. You still will your feelings will still be involved, even if it's a friend.
That's right.
You got that part right.
There's no way. There's no way.
There's no way around it.
No, not at all. Um,
A friend hurt you just as much as a spouse.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's easier to walk away from a friend than someone that you done dedicated.
Not always.
No, it's
Not
not.
always.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Not always.
Legally, what you're
No, it's
looking
not.
at, you don't have to go through the divorce proceedings and the
Yeah,
property
right.
splitting and all of
That's
that.
the only-
That's the only difference.
Right.
But your feelings are your
That's the only
feelings. It's
difference.
still the same. It's still hard to walk away. You know,
That's right.
just because we don't have any, paperwork between us, that no, I'm sorry, it doesn't work like that. I don't even think by what you just said, the person that you are, I don't even think you could do that.
Thank y'all for stepping on my dreams.
You're welcome.
I'm just saying,
Anytime.
I've been there, I had a friend.
Anytime.
I had a friend that hurt me deeply that I trusted, and
I'm gonna do it with month right now for to go on mute.
Wait a minute. We just like Quibby, we just talking. We just talking. Come on now. Take that off. Take that off. Come off of mute. But I'm serious. From what you just described when you were talking about the person that you are, I don't think you'd be able to do that anyway. To have a really good friend and no feelings, emotions involved. So that if they decided they don't,
it's like you married you.
You have to stop those feelings.
right? That's what I'm saying.
You know, if you find that person that you like and you want to be best friends with, you can't stop the feeling of love. If it comes up,
That's
you
right.
try to deny it, but you can't stop it.
Right. We may not. If
You want to come over here and just crush my dreams too, huh?
no, we. That's I was just gonna say we're doing.
Just being realistic.
Yes, we're doing reality checks. Like I said, we don't want you to leave here, under any misconceptions or untruths or anything like that. Any kind of foolery. No, we dealing it.
Especially when you have that friend that you done confide to and told them everything, and y'all hang out and did everything, and now that friend betrayed you. Child, please, that's hurt. That's painful.
Yes, yes, it is.
It is. That's real thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's because you told me about your secret. They told you theirs. They didn't tell you none of their secrets. They say all your secrets.
If you're a person like me, the Lord opened up as it is.
Right.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Lamont, if you telling all your secrets and you don't ask for none of theirs, then that's kind of on you.
Yeah, you definitely need to know theirs too.
Because we gotta ask questions, and we have to have hard conversations as to what's going on, what we expected out of this relationship or friendship or whatever kind of shit.
That's right.
Because I'm gonna ask all the wives.
All the while.
See, I'm that person. The more that person open up to me, the
Why?
more I'm gonna open up to them.
Right.
Yeah.
My thing is, if I keep picking up the phone, you know what? That should be good enough. You call me and I keep picking up the phone right now. That should be good enough. Because, like I just said in the beginning of this live, I'm not good at expressing how I feel right now. I haven't gotten to that point yet. People want to know more than just that I love you or I like you. They want to know other things, where they just pour out their heart. And I don't have those kind of words to give back right now. I don't know how to connect those words.
Yeah, I understand that. That's what takes the part.
Right.
Then another thing is, if you're trying to be in a relationship with somebody, you kind of just let everything come out at its own pace. You don't.
It is all pace, right?
You want things to gel genuinely, organically. You don't want to, after 2 dates, I got and told you everything it is.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Honey.
Left for them to figure out.
Right, because if that had happened 8 years ago, that joker wouldn't have got beat up in his sleep.
Oops.
Oh, God.
I mean, that was awful. I mean, and it put me in a situation where I had to tell him something. I should have had, told him something. Like I had nightmares. This happened to me, but I couldn't. So we just standing up there looking at each other. He want to know what's going on. I want to know is he? You all right? I'm sorry. But eventually,
I'm gonna have to give me a pet squirrel.
and you know what? Left leg, you get a pet squirrel and that thing attack you. I'm gonna be the first one to laugh. I promise. Because them squirrels ain't no joke. Them squirrels ain't no joke. You.
Look, baby, there is no getting around people.
Right.
We were put together for a reason.
A
There's no
pet
getting
squirrel.
around it.
Uh-uh.
You're either gonna trust or you're not gonna trust.
And Denise, just to let you know, all this time I said I was gonna go off in the nursing home with you. Take all the peppermints.
Wait a minute. Wait a
I
minute.
don't know now.
Wait a minute, Left Lane. We still cool. Hey, I know where a squirrel at.
Oh, I got plenty of them.
That's what I'm saying.
How many you want?
Yeah.
How many you want? We got plenty. How many you want?
And they some big
We're not
ones
about
too.
to be holding those squirrels hostage now.
I'm just trying to get back in Left Lane good graces now. I got some squirrels over here. I'm in the country. They big fat squirrels too. They healthy. They cornbread fed.
We got rabbits too. We got ducks.
Oh, ducks.
Rabbits and ducks too.
Send me. Yeah. Yeah, I think.
You know, that's how the ducks.
Yeah, you better take my ducks.
That's bad.
Send me a duck.
Them ducks will turn into a meal with Linus and
Yeah.
Denise and Left Lane.
I think I want a pet duck. Queen Bee, I want a pet duck. Send me a duck.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. Yes, no, that's right. Before sundown. Send me two. That's it.
No.
They can keep each other company. You can't just get one. You got to get two. They keep each other company.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
I got a twin roaster. Just twirling away.
What you talking about, Linus?
I know I ain't gonna have my pet squirrel around y'all.
I make some gravy for him too. I make some. I do.
Squirrels are safe.
I do. I eat them. Squirrels, and I make a shoe out of his tail too.
I thought they were safe for the parents.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna do a part 2, maybe even a part 3, because I have not even covered a fourth of everything that I wrote down. So we'll pick up at emotional shutdown tomorrow. I have to let me write that down. Yeah, okay. We'll pick back up at emotional shutdown. We'll do a recap, an overview of everything we went over in this part, and then we'll go into it tomorrow because we're already at over 2 hours. And
Right on.
Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for the engagement, for the laughs, for the great conversation. Melvin, Tony, Leah, Queen B, Diamond Art Paintings I saw. Who else?
Yep, she was in. Yep.
Yeah. So thank y'all. I love y'all, Tony. We're doing a part 2, so I still want to hear your thoughts on this subject. I'll be waiting tomorrow. Um, you're welcome. Don't forget Melvin the King. I call your name first, Melvin. I love you, Melvin. You have a good night. I love y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow.